As we all know, all fear stems from insufficient firepower. But when faced with a monster akin to an ancient god, where even a few clips of bullets barely scratch its surface, how would you respond? This is a concept gameplay video from Once Human, a survival game set in a Lovecraftian world where you fight eldritch horrors with knives and rifles, hardcore to the core. Yet, some might dismiss it as mere CGI, claiming, in the actual game, you'll just mow everything down with a machine gun. To those skeptics, I present this rocket launcher and minigun. The game's sense of dread doesn't just come from the boss's massive size, it permeates every aspect of the experience. In Once Human's lore, there exists an extremely corrosive and polluting substance called stardust, which mutates living beings and covers structures with tentacle-like fungal growths. In areas with high stardust concentration, the land is overrun with vein-like mycelium. The fusion of futuristic architecture and fantastical creatures, coupled with the incessant beeping of instruments signaling rising contamination, constantly reminds players that they're surviving in an apocalypse. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. The map is enormous, offering vast explorability. The most basic mutated creatures are these zombie-like humanoids that move sluggishly and rub their heads like flies when idle. They might seem dumb, but once they spot you, they charge like Attack on Titan's abnormal titans. Fortunately, they're fragile and can be staggered, making them easy prey for melee weapons. Among them are variants like the Deviants, which wield pistols. Instead of rushing, they slowly raise their guns to aim and fire, dealing significant damage, but their wind-up is so slow you could land 18 melee hits before they shoot. The amusing part? These foes often drop bullets, making them prime targets for early game ammo farming. Then there's the Mayhem, fast, tanky, and deadly. If you try to conserve bullets against them, prepare to get mauled at close range. The next tier consists of mini-bosses with bizarre designs and diverse attack patterns. Take the Glutton from the tutorial. It can hurl 3 ordinary deviants at you while also launching homing projectiles. Without understanding its mechanics, first-timers will get wrecked. Finally, we have the regional bosses. If you've adapted to the lesser foes and think the game's difficulty is overhyped, the Ravenous Hunter will teach you otherwise. In its first phase, the Hunter is completely immune to damage, except for the minigun on its right arm. You must wait for it to overheat before sneaking in attacks. Once you destroy the minigun, it drops as loot. Here's the trap. If you greedily pick it up and start blasting, the Hunter enters Phase 2, swapping to a rocket launcher and immediately firing homing missiles. While wielding the minigun, your movement is crippled, leaving you helpless against the barrage. This phase requires careful cover usage to chip away at its health. At lower HP, it enters Phase 3. The boss ascends a platform, becoming invulnerable while sniping you and summoning 2 adds. If you're too far away, the adds will waste your ammo and meds. The key is staying near the platform to quickly destroy its nest when prompted. After this, the cycle repeats. But the minigun overheats faster. And in Phase 2, the boss now launches area of effect missiles from above, forcing you to dodge constantly. Against these bosses, the golden rule is bring enough bullets and heals because they are absurdly tanky. Beyond combat, survival is the top priority. Basic resources like wood and stone are abundant, though demand is high. Meanwhile, mechanical parts and other advanced materials are concentrated in urban zones, often spaced far apart. Water is everywhere when you don't need it, but vanishes the moment you're parched. Early on, establishing your base near buildings with access to water, trees, and wildlife is ideal. Don't just focus on weapons. Upgrading armor is crucial. Venturing into high radiation zones without sufficient resistance will drain your max HP. High-tier armor not only boosts defense, but also significantly improves radiation resistance, vastly improving survivability. As a hardcore survival game veteran, my time with Once Human has been impressive. The developers clearly aim to polish this into a masterpiece, with meticulous attention to detail. For instance, after the tutorial, when teleporting to the main world, all my gear was destroyed, except my underwear. Just as I was about to rant, the game justified it. Guide and NPC preserved it because they didn't want to travel with an exhibitionist. Such lore-friendly touches elevate the experience, and I'm optimistic about the game's future.